Hey everybody, I'm KK.
I'm Kristen.
Together we are
KK Crochet.
So the other day in the group, if you're on Facebook, I kind of teased a little bit about going to Michael's. Now, first of all, we never had a Michael's until this year. I was not a Michael's shopper online either. I have been in Michael's a total of one time since it opened several months ago. I am not a Michael's shopper because it's an hour away from me. And so therefore, I do not get to go and do those sorts of things very often. But there was a coupon online for save 40% off any one regular priced item. And Kristen Centro met an ugly demise from her dog, who is more like a baby cow, and landed on it one day when she walked away for a second, and she destroyed the legs. So I'm going to try to order her new legs to fix it, but I'm showing it. So I put on there a little teaser and said I'm going to get something crochet related. Do you know what I'm going to get? And Sharon from Sharon Loves Purple, hi Sharon, her sweetheart was on there guessing, and she had some good guesses, but that wasn't what I got. So I got this, and we're going to talk about it a little bit, and I'm going to give my honest opinion. This is not a Centro, but it's the same thing. This is their Loops and Threads brand. So what had happened was, I use Ibotta when I shop for groceries and things like that, and sometimes when I do Christmas shopping too. You can also go online and use it that way. But I use Ibotta when I shop, and I have been out of it for a while, and they give you these things called bonuses. And so where if you do so many rebates, Ibotta is a rebate app. You get money back for the things you purchase. You submit your receipt, and they give you so much for each item. Like it may say 50 cents. Oh, well, this week it was 25 cents off of Wonder Bread. And Wonder Bread, if you buy 5 of certain items at Kroger, was $1.99. So that was 25 cents back, made it $1.74 for a loaf of bread. Yep, that's decent. I remember when they were 99 cents, but okay. Yeah, we won't go there. So they had 2 bonuses. One was $5 back when you buy 13 items. One was $5 back when you spend 18 items. So that means you get all of the rebates for each individual item. Plus, if you bought 18 items and submitted, you would get $10 extra back on that, which makes for a pretty good deal. So I got things like snack cakes, laundry detergent, Purex pods in the pack, 21 count. Old Spice deodorant, Gillette deodorant, telling all my business here. But just to let you know some of the items I received, I had 17 items, and by the time I got all the money back, it made each thing 66 cents, 67 cents each, something like that. So 67 cents for a bag of laundry pods, 67 cents for a Gillette deodorant that is like $8.99 at Walgreens and $6.99 at Kroger. 67 cents for Old Spice deodorant, the kind that I purchased is normally $4.75 at Dollar General. Yes, please, I will take that all day long. So I had money in Ibotta to cash out. Once you get to $20, you could cash out. Now, I had, after I bought those 17 items, I received $30 back from Ibotta. I had $2.50 back in cash back from Kroger. I think that was it. So by the time I got finished, those were the only 2 apps that I used for that, so that gave me back $32 and something. But anyway, so the Kroger stuff can go, that's not part of what I paid for this with. So what I did was I cashed out my Ibotta $43 for a gift card to Michael's. Now, I don't ever do that. I've never done it before, I don't think. But the PayPal option wasn't working. I just wanted to get my money back, and PayPal was going to buy Christmas presents with it, put it towards an order, and that's usually what I do at Christmas, is I do the Ibotta stuff and roll it over. Anyway, I put it towards this. This thing was $84 and some change. I would never pay that. I don't care if it spins hats of gold. I am cheap. I am not paying $85 for this. Sorry. This is plastic. It's all plastic. Yeah, no. So, with the discount, the 40%, it was like $54 and something, I think. I can't remember. I think that was after tax. So then I put my $43 towards it. It was $11.46 after tax. And then I had another rebate app where I had submitted just receipts that you just get money back based on how much you spent. And it takes forever to get anything back, but if I'm doing it anyway, so what? So I submitted the receipts to there, and I had a $5 rebate back from that. So I did that. So that made this $6.46. Now, I would gladly pay $6.46. It makes a lot of noise. I guess that's the needles.
Yeah, the gears and stuff inside.
I would gladly pay $6.46 for it. I did, obviously. And you can say, well, you paid $40. Yeah, I did pay $54 basically. But that was money I had already used to buy food, laundry detergent, and beauty or hygiene products that I needed for the house. I would have bought anyway. And we're going to use all those things. So, yep. However, but there's a but and there's a big but. I did not realize until I got home and opened it that it's only 40 needles. Because it doesn't tell you in the description online that it's only 40 needles. And they only have two. A little baby one and then this one. So I thought, yeah, that's the big one. When you compare it to a Centro, you can tell. And I don't use the Centro, so I'm going to use that as my excuse of not knowing. So I will say I was going to take it back, but their return policy says it cannot be used. And it has been used because I made a hat, believe it or not. Yeah. So there's my hat. I did make a hat. You can't see it. I have not sewn it in the ends. Kristen showed me how, she walked me through how to put the yarn on to start, and then she showed me how to take the yarn off at the end. And honestly, it was the first time I've ever actually been able to take it off by myself. So I made progress. I made a hat. The problem is the hat is for a kiddo, like a little kiddo. These do not work for adults. They're not big enough. I have relaxed the stitches until it looks like spaghetti. I mean, I have done this and this and this, and it is tight. Very, very tight. So I'm not happy because I can't make adult hats with it. And my husband was like, well, we'll get you the one that's 48 needles. And I said, no, you won't. He said, why not? I said, 'cause I conquered it. I made a hat decent enough that I would give it away. This is baby yarn, by the way. Because that's what you have to do to get it to go through the machine. But, yeah. I think I'm officially calling my knitting machine journey finished. I had said before I was never going to use it again. I do think this is quieter than a Centro, in my opinion. I think it runs smoother than a Centro, in my opinion, as I was using it, providing you have your tension correct. $84? Nope. No way. No way. But then again, I'm also not going to give what they want for an Addy. If you are someone who is very, very comfortable using one and you have the ability to do that without physical issues like I have from, like I can't sit and crank all day, my arm would fall off and I would hurt because of the arthritis. But if you can use one like that and you can crank out hats, and your goal is to make all kids hats, which mine is not. I want them to fit everybody, so I tend to scale towards a larger hat so that everybody can wear it. Then this is for you if you want the smaller. I could make scarves out of it and amigurumi, and I am keeping it because, like I said, their policy is once you've used it, you can't take it back. I used it because I wanted to see the difference between a 40 needle and a 48, and you would think that wouldn't be very much, right? That's 4 needles on each side, And if you measure 4 needles, that's about 2 inches. So that's about 2 inches on each side. So you're taking away 4 inches, I guess, from the hat, if my math is correct. And so I guess that is a huge deal because it is tight. Now, can I get it on my head? Yeah, with lots and lots of trying, but it is tight. And so, and that's after I've relaxed the stitches to the point where it doesn't really resemble much of a hat. So yeah, it would be good for scarves, good for amigurumi, or good if you are only doing for a children's outreach. I may make a few hats for that in the future, or some things that I have planned, but yeah. It takes me, and maybe if I practice longer it wouldn't, but it takes me probably close to as long. I'll say it probably takes me about an hour to make a hat like this because I have to keep stopping because of my arm. So yeah, I'd just rather crochet it. But anyway, yep, there you go. That's what I bought, and yep, I am keeping it. The kids will use it, I'm sure, and make some things. And we do have a need for children's hats, but not all children's hats. And like I've told you all before, if you look at the average size of an adult head and you take like a 22-inch hat, and then I did hats for kindergartners one year, and almost all of them were 19 inches and above, 18 3/4 maybe to like 19 inches. So you're talking 3 inches difference. 3 inches difference. It can slouch a little bit. They can grow into it. They'll be able to wear it longer. And let's face it, if you are donating hats to those in need, they need to be able to use them for a long time. They need to, because who knows when they'll get another one, you know? So, actually with us, hopefully every year when they're there and we throw out hats, but you just never know. So, that's my take on that. I will say I made some other hats. Again, I need to sew in ends. This is a hat that I made using the stitch pattern from the pumpkin that I made, which these that you see right here, the lines that are popped out, those are front, let's see, 2 together, front post double crochet 2 together. So your front post, double crochet, front post double crochet, words, a stitch, and then you only halfway, and then you do another one halfway, and then complete them together. You can look it up on YouTube, I'm sure. And then it is a row of half double crochets and a row of single crochets, then a row of double crochets, and then you start it all over. So when I did the pumpkin, I thought, man, I bet that would make a nice hat, and it does. Takes a little bit longer, but I do think that's a pretty hat. And this is just the basic increase, like I said, and then I did a row of double crochets, and then I did the double crochet front post 2 or it's not front post 2 together, it's 2, good grief, it's a front post double crochet, 2 front post double crochet on the same stitch. It's a front post double crochet cluster. There we go. That's the words, I think. Anyway,
Pretty.
It's from the pumpkin that I made. It's the same stitch, and I just think it looks really kind of neat. And then I did this one. This is for Litz's birthstone cowl. The birthstone for October is tourmaline, is what she said. I was always told rose zero cone growing up. My birthday's in October.
I just know it's pink.
Yeah, it is. They're both pink. They're both pink. So here we go. This is what I chose to do for that. Tourmaline has kind of like a see-through, like a rainbowish kind of effect too, and lots of different colors. This is also, I'm going to submit this to Lori at the Armchair Chef for her cause awareness in October for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And so, yeah, I'm going to do that. And then I made this one, which is just a basic hat with some scrap yarn, and added those to her thing. And that's all we have for today. And let me know if you've tried this. I've never seen it before. Like I said, not a Michael's gal, so not familiar with all their stuff. Same with Hobby Lobby. I do go to Hobby Lobby a little more, even though they're in the same town. Like I said, Michael's just came in not too long ago, and I go to Hobby Lobby when they do the yarn clearance and stuff. And I like their hooks, their Yarnology hooks. They're my favorite, actually.
My favorite.
At the point right now, they're my favorite. I lost mine the other day and was about to have a conniption, my J hook, and then I found it. because J is my favorite. So, and we have some new stuff coming up. Not sure when you guys will see this, but there'll be a video coming out about a crochet along you can do with us as we go through it. I know we still have a sock along. I haven't touched mine. I don't know that I will this year. I'm at the point where I'm not doing things that don't bring me joy, and I don't know. I made 2 socks. I could not get them right because, well, yeah, I don't know. The yarn, the first time was the pattern, the second time was the yarn. So spring has a really good sock pattern, and I love it. And if I go back to make a sock, I'm going to use it, but I just need to use a different yarn. So that's all we have today. What do you think about this compared to the Centro? You played with it some.
I think they're pretty much identical. I mean, I do think that one is quieter and runs smoother, but it also is only 40 pins, so you can't make the bigger things like you would.
And maybe that's the reason why it seems smoother, because it's not as gawky.
Maybe,
because the Centro is so big and this one's smaller. See, you can listen.
And the Centro makes a lot of more noise when you're going around and around and around and around.
So I don't think that's too bad. Of course, there's no yarn in it either at the moment, so that depends on what you do too. I did try Premier yarn through this. It doesn't work. So, yep, that's what we have for today. That's our review. Not sponsored. Like I said, I paid for this. Wouldn't it be nice to be sponsored and get free stuff to try? That would be awesome. But anyway, yeah, honest opinion, not $84, no way, or $85 by the time you do whatever. But
not when you can get a Centro for $30 on Amazon.
But I will leave my Ibotta referral down below too. If you want to jump on that, you get extra money for joining underneath me and my team. And then we say team, but it just, whatever. It's just a referral. And then I get something too. So if you'd want to try out Ibotta, I only use it now for things I absolutely already am probably going to purchase or my family will use. I used to use it for other things, like I would go through and try to hit the bonuses all the time. I don't do that anymore. But if it's something I'm going to use, like Old Spice and Gillette are very expensive anymore, and that for that specific thing, my boys are brand specific. A lot of things we are not. We are a generic family. Love the generic brand, but that kind of thing is specific, and I get that. And so, yeah, but I will leave that down there. If you have questions, let me know. And to me, if I'm going to use that stuff anyway and I'm getting the money back and it makes it cheap, I'm going to recycle that money anyway into something. You can recycle it into groceries. You can usually recycle it into your PayPal, but it was down the other day. So maybe because I hadn't used my Ibotta in a long time and all of a sudden went, hey, let's try it. I also did get other money back from Betch, so I will leave that too. I got $2 back on Betch for basically $2 for the Gillette too. So that played a part in everything I got back, and that's money that goes towards gift cards later too. So yes, you don't get all the money back at once, but I had $43. I had $13 from prior stuff, and then I got $30 from this. So that's how the $43 came about, in case you're curious. If you have other questions about that and want me to do a video about that, I will. I usually talk about it during Christmas extravaganza and did not this year. I don't talk a lot about it. It's just something I do for fun and to be able to save money to afford the other things that we want. And I know that Kelly from Crochet Mom for Life also does Fetch, and she uses those points to buy, to get Amazon gift cards to buy crochet books and that kind of thing. So whatever floats your boat. That's all we have for today. Don't forget to be kind, because
nobody else's journey.
Bye.
Bye.